this is a big game, as everybody knows, and we're playing an excellent football team, and so what we have to do is have a great week of preparation and then go out Saturday and play our best game. And so that's our focus. And I thought this morning was a good start. I like where we are emotionally and mentally, and I think they're excited to play this game. It's always a fun game when you play your crosstown rival, and it's great to have something at stake. I think, I know when I got here, that's one of the things I heard is, it'd be great to have this game be a game that really has meaning and consequence in the Pac-12, if not nationally, and I think that this one does. So it just adds to it. It adds to what's already an amazing rivalry.
With all that meaning, do you try to downplay some of the emotions that are connected with the rivalry this week?
I just think it's important that we follow our mantra of, don't listen to the noise and control what we can control. And that's how we practice and how we prepare, our emotional state and not getting caught up in the hype. And I think that we've matured to the point as a football team this year where we're much better equipped right now to handle that than maybe we were earlier in the year. I think maybe we learned our lesson, and so I think that's a positive.
Jim, how much is this about UCLA versus it's yourself, your potential, as opposed to the opponent? Just you guys being the best you all can, you're setting the bar for yourselves. Forget about your playing.
You know what? Were you in our meetings? Because that's kind of what we always talk about. You can't ignore the significance of this game. You can't ignore the significance of the rivalry and what it potentially can mean for both teams. But our goal every week is to come out and play against our standard. We have a saying, and it's you prepare for your opponents, but on Saturdays you play against your standard. And so I think that's you hit the nail on the head. That's what we're trying to do every week.
Yeah, it seems like for the program, it's just oblivious of anything else. It's just where the program is headed.
Yeah, and I think we're headed in the right direction. I think that maybe early in the year, I don't think that we got ahead of ourselves. I think that the outside world got ahead of ourselves and didn't realize really that the youth on this team. I was talking to a couple of NFL scouts today, and we only play 5 seniors. And I think because Brett was so prominent, because we finished up strong last year, that people put us in a place that maybe we didn't deserve to be yet. And now I think we've worked ourselves in a position where maybe if we continue to stay focused and play well, we'll see. We'll see what we deserve.
Now, as much as you preach not listening to noise, you think some of the kids early on heard the noise? These are just kids. I
think it's conceivable. Yeah, as much as you preach it, there's so much out there. It's different than when you and I and you, the rest of you guys, the rest of you guys are gone. Well, you and Rip back there, of course. They didn't have cell phones.
For us AARP people, that's
But we didn't have as much access to information, and these kids have so much access to information. And as much as you ask them to, ignore what's going on out there, they read it, they hear it, they see it.
And do you think they've adjusted now to that? Do you think they truly have?
I do believe that they have, Bill. I really do. Just the things that I've heard them say, the way they've focused in meetings, their mindset, at least from what I can read, and I think I know them pretty well at this point, I do believe that they have adjusted, and I'm proud of them for that. I'm proud that they didn't let it get away from them, especially when we suffered those 2 losses. I'm proud that they were able to reorganize and regroup and get back on point.
Does having dealt with all that national hype, help with, this week is just a rivalry, almost after what they've been hearing earlier on in the season?
Probably helps, yeah. It probably helps, being put on a pedestal so early and having all that attention. But still, regardless of all that, this is such a great game. I didn't realize, as I've told you guys before, they just decided they want to start jackhammering.
Right when you perfect timing.
It's perfect. I told them, right when you see my lips move, you guys jackhammer. If I say something stupid, we can drown it out.
You're doing what you're saying.
When. I didn't understand the significance of this rivalry until I got here, and regardless of anything else, it's so meaningful to everybody in this city. And so it just makes it really special. It's a special game to play in, and it's for me, it's part of it is the pageantry and seeing both teams out there with their home uniforms on, and so even though there was a lot of national exposure early, it's still a little bit different. it's different and it's neat.
When you said not understand the total significance, did that include things that are said that get out there and how they're portrayed in this?
No, I don't know.
rivalry?
I had never, I'd been involved in this game one time and I was like 12 years old. So it was not part of my orbit. It wasn't something, that I thought about a lot. So I just, until you experience something, you don't know what it means.
Red
Now that-
Sanders, the coach, then?
Yeah. No, Dick Vermeil, actually. Yeah, it's the year my dad was here.
Now that you know about the game, how much does a win over USC validate your season?
I don't think that you want to put all your eggs in that basket ever. I'm not a guy that really ever talks about must-wins or. I think that every week you have to go out and you have to perform and you have to validate what you did the week before. If you're fortunate enough to get a win on one Saturday, you have to go out the next Saturday and win again to validate what you did the previous week, and then the next week you have to validate it again, and that's what's part of being a consistently good football team, and that's what we're striving to be.
In your opinion, how have these last, 2 wins or 2 years against USC changed the recruiting landscape of?
I don't know that it has. So many of the young men, the kids in this area grew up as USC fans and that 9-game winning streak. And, I don't know if it's changed it or not. I mean, we go head-to-head against them with certain kids, and certain kids they recruit that we don't, and vice versa. So, there's so much talent in this area. There really is. It's a tremendous hotbed of high school talent that I think everybody is going to get their share. I think what's really neat to see is local kids wanting to stay home and either go to their school or to our school. I think that's what's going to be good for our city and good for football in this area.
Do you think a third win in a row could do anything to change a narrative that, say, 9 wins had already established before that?
I don't know. I don't think too much about that. I just really concentrate on what we're trying to get done this week. I don't think that for us as a team, for me as a coach, and I'm sure, I can't speak for them, but what happened in the past doesn't matter towards what's going to happen on Saturday. Like I said to start this thing off, is we've got to have a great week of preparation, and then we've got to go play our best football on Saturday. Okay?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.